Now, we've heard a lot about the type 1 experience and perspective, but here at dedoc, it's really important for us to say that, of course, all types of diabetes are welcome. And actually, we're all stronger if we work together and collaborate. So we want to invite Heather to the stage. She's from Zimbabwe and she lives with type 2 diabetes. Welcome, Heather.
Hi, Steph. How are you?
I'm good. I'm having a fabulous time with everyone. I hope you are too. Tell us a little bit about yourself, about your advocacy journey and what led you to the dedoc Voices.
Okay. My first experience with diabetes is I was pregnant. So it was actually gestational diabetes. Mm-hmm. And I actually didn't know much about the condition. So after I gave birth, I was told that I was now diabetes free, but only a year later, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. So that's when the journey began. At first I was confused. I didn't know where to start from since I didn't know where to get the support. So at first it was actually a lonely journey for me, trying to find out for myself, doing my research. What is this diabetes all about? How best can I manage it? But with time, as I linked up with more people and organizations in the diabetes community, it became quite interesting. And that actually fueled my passion to keep researching. I was then accepted as a representative of the IDF's Blue Circle Voices network. So I'm one of the Zimbabwean representatives in that network. It's a network of adults living with type 2 diabetes, mostly. And then that's when the real advocacy journey began. So I was advocating internationally with IDF, mostly just via virtual networks and other virtual assignments. And then with time, I started getting invited, making a name for myself. I get invited to different platforms, virtually and even physically. So for the dedoc, it was a fellow dedoc voice from Zimbabwe who told me about this platform.
A little shout out to Tino Tenda here. We love him very, very much.
So at first I wasn't really sure what it was all about, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to be selected. Surprisingly, I made it for the ATTD in Berlin, and I learned so much. And
was there a specific session at ATTD that struck a nerve with you? Anything that stuck with you?
I would say the session about disparities coming from Africa, I identified with most of the things that were said, that there is so much disparity, and in Africa and other low income and medium income economies, sometimes talking about devices is not even that lucrative, because you have to create that environment first where you can be able to use the devices. So you have a situation where you want to advocate for the provision of devices, but then the people have no food. The people are traveling so many long distances to go to the nearest health center. The people don't have electricity to be able to use the devices. So there's so much that needs to be done. As we advocate for better medication and better medical devices, we should also advocate for other things that will make the use of the devices more meaningful and more lucrative. Agreed. So there's so much work that needs to be done in Africa. Education itself, because there is so much ignorance when we talk about diabetes, and we have so many people who have it and who don't know it, or who don't want to admit that they have it. So as an advocate in Africa, there is so much that still needs to be done. A lot of work that I and my colleagues still need to do.
Yeah, luckily you're not alone in that. And I'm just so happy that we were able to bring you to this conference, because I think it's really, really important to have you represent the African community, but also the type 2 community, and be able to work together with your fellow advocates across the continent to improve access to so many things there.
Okay.
You're one of a couple of type 2 advocates actually within the dedoc Voices community, and it's a growing number, which is lovely. But how do you think is it different, and what do you think should happen to make sure that more type 2s raise their voices and join advocacy as well?
Yeah, I think you should continue inviting us and other
will.
type 2 devices. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we should continue having more type 2 people on these platforms. And
So,
being one of them, it's really my job to encourage others to come along. Yeah.
So everyone watching now in the audience, if you live with type 2 or any other type of diabetes for that fact, we will open up applications in July again, and we hope to have even more people with type 2 and other types of diabetes join us. Heather is a fantastic example, and the comments show that you're really beloved as well. So thank you so much, Heather, for joining us and telling us all about your journey.
Thank you, Steph.